guys? It's Remmy. We're playing Experimental today. Actually, no, it'd be better if we play Strikeout, because then I can do multiple characters. As you guys can already see from the thumbnail and the title, topic at hand is Scythe and Katars. There's no Scythe Katar legend, so I can't do both at the same time, but we'll make it work. What's the next best thing? More decks is the next best thing. Gauntlets are basically better Katars, right? So, basically what I want to talk about is, why they're bad, because I've mentioned in like multiple settings, like on Twitch and in my tier list and stuff, that both those weapons are not that good right now. Katar is way worse off than Scythe, obviously, and to explain why Katars are way worse off than Scythe, Scythe has active input, way better hitboxes, and more damage on just like one hit than than Katars does, and Katars also are disgustingly inconsistent, whereas most of Scythe stuff can work most of the time if you just like work with it. Like right there, that will always work on Scythe, whereas Katars like to drop their dares a lot for some reason. But yeah, so basically the reason, if I had to just like pick a reason as to what, first I'm going to start with what these weapons are and like how good they are, like in actuality, right? Well, they aren't the best. Scythe is much more playable than Katars are, and that's just because of everything I've listed before, right? Katars are disgustingly like annoying to play, and if I had to just like boil that down and answer like why is that, because a lot of people just think it's like things like the damage and stuff. No, it's not just that Katars do a little bit of damage, it's that when they finally get that opportunity, that read to do a big amount of their damage, it just drops. It literally, if you fall out of the move a lot of the times. And not to mention Katars' matchups into the weapons that are good right now, such as Hammer, is not very fun. Something like Scythe can at least like have a go at Hammer, and the areas where you'll be standing at Scythe is not that bad. Katars just can't play against it. It's just really bad for Katars in general, right? The trades are terrible. The area is terrible. The neutral game is terrible against Hammer. Like, it's just not fun at all. But yeah, against a lot of weapons, Katars don't have that same weakness, right? Like, but you just can't. That's where the inconsistency comes in. Against like Sword, Katars doesn't have the damage problem and the area control problem. The only problem it has is it being inconsistent, it dropping a lot, because you can't afford to have your damage just drop off, right? That's really bad. So those are Katars' problems. It has bad trades with weapons that are meta, right? And then with the weapons that aren't just like completely disgusting, with the weapons it should be going even with, and okay, it still loses mainly because of its own weaknesses. Just too many things dropping. Like with the new downlight, when you do downlight, you can't even get recovery half the time. You can't get dare half the time either. It's just really messy. Like if the only thing you can do is downlight nair, that's not valuable. It's just really bad. And that stuff like that will always make a weapon terrible. It's like back when half your sword downlights would drop, right? No matter how good sword downlight actually is, if you cannot actually follow it up, if it is that inconsistent, it's just bad. You just don't want to play it. It feels bad, and it really is bad. You're not getting any reward for hitting moves. Scythe doesn't have those problems, obviously. Scythe is mainly just bad because of how much damage it puts out. It's not enough without a lot of effort. I think Scythe is like in a perfect spot, minus 1 or 2 buffs. Like, I think you could buff this move. Maybe like hitbox or something. I don't know. I feel like it misses a lot of the times where it doesn't need to. But other than that, I don't think you need to buff anything else on Scythe. I think Scythe is hard, and when you can play it to its difficulty, it's still good. Like Sandstorm just won a tournament this weekend with Scythe. He's gonna keep winning tournaments with Scythe because he's just that good at it. He's putting in a lot of work, and that's fine. Weapons that are hard should be good, and Scythe is good but it is really hard. Maybe the difficulty is too hard for the reward, but I don't necessarily think that. I think Scythe is in an okay spot. I think weapons that are way easier are getting a lot of light and people are ignoring what Scythe can actually do. I put Scythe at like the middle of my tier list, and the reason, if you remember, was literally just straight up, this weapon is too hard, and you shouldn't play it because it's too hard. Like, if I was to make a tier list and then separate it by elos and stuff like that, which I honestly could do, but maybe we'll save that for another tier list. If I was separated by like elos and stuff, I would have Scythe like same area as Sword in Diamond. Like Diamond Scythe is still scary, and actually I shouldn't say Diamond Scythe because Diamond players aren't that good. If your Sandstorm Scythe is still broken, right? But what is that supposed to mean? Is it just Sandstorm? Can no one else get to that point? Well, maybe someone can, and we just don't know. So it's like, it's yet to be seen, right? Just don't count Scythe out. Obviously someone is doing something with it, so it must have something to it, unless we're all just that much worse than him to where you can play whatever you want and win. But we aren't, because he can't play a weapon like Katars still, right? So that being said, yeah, that's a lot of talk about why they're bad and what it means to actually be bad. But should we talk about how to fix them? Well, Katar, like I said, Scythe just is like a small buff somewhere that isn't too strong, because remember when Scythe was hard and still like insanely good like last year, it was kind of disgusting. But let's just look at like Katars and what to do about them. Well, first of all, I think the first step before anything else, we can look into other stuff if everything else is still strong, but the first step before anything else would be to fix the inconsistencies. Like dare dropping can't happen, or else that weapon will never be good. Downlight needs to actually do something. You need to understand what you're supposed to do out of downlight, right? Or else that weapon's not going to do anything. They made endlight recovery unjumpable, but you can fast fall out of it. Stuff like that is never going to be good enough, right? Like you're taking away the reward. You're making it so it has a reward for something, but then the reward also just doesn't work. Like, yeah, I can't jump out of endlight. Okay, but now I can fast fall it? What's the point? Now I'm going to fast fall it if I don't have a dodge. And sure, they can punish you fast falling if they know it, but that just creates an unnecessary 50-50. It's just harder on them. It's not worth it. You should just give them their option that they've earned. Just let them recovery, stuff like that. But the thing is, there's too many things like that on Katars. There's way too many. And I think the things that are consistent are incredibly stupid. Like sidelight always being true into endlight and downlight. That's dumb. That's boring. It's not this like basically if you look at it right now, all of Katars' strings and reads drop. Meanwhile, all its true combos are perfectly fine, except they're so boring that you don't care. Like, I don't know. That's how I feel when I play Katars. I don't know. Like, Katars were like like what was that? Did you see that? I dared him, and it sent him with force. Why? Why did it do that? What am I supposed to? I can't get sidelight now. Stuff like that. Like, it's just really bad. And I don't know. It's like Katars were a weapon that I used to play because I just liked like the reads and stuff like that. Should be able to be dared. It really should, because he wastes his dodge and then you get the dare. But yeah, Katars were a weapon you used to like. I used to just play because it was fun and entertaining. But now I'd rather just play Scythe, because Scythe is like what I liked out of Katars, except instead of working half the time and dropping the other half, it just always works if I get that same read off, right? Let's play one more, and this time I'll actually prime a Katar legend because I'm shitting on them way too hard. I know, I'm really talented. And we'll get to one this one. But yeah, that's those are like both the problems. So like I said, the first thing they should look before they do anything else is to make the inconsistencies consistent. That way you don't like buff something and then, because you have to fix drops anyway. So let's say they buff something and fix the drops, like they give it more damage or they give it another combo and then fix the drops, and then Katars end up being too oppressive again like last year, and then they just take over the meta, get gutted again, and then are left to rot, right? They can't have that. So just fix the inconsistencies, fix the stuff that you have to fix anyway, and then we can start talking about actual buffs or like damage changes and stuff like that. There's been a fly in my room this whole time. It's so annoying, but whatever. I don't kill bugs because honestly, they're gonna live for like a month or something if they're lucky. A week maybe. Just let them be. But yeah, that's like what I kind of think about it. Like, what else could you even argue? Like, what is that? Why can I not get my dare after I hit the downlight perfectly? That stuff is what is killing the weapon. You literally can't do anything after downlight except nair. It sucks. Other than that, so yeah, fix the damage. And then if I wanted to like starting to suggest like actual stuff, like just like things like combos and numbers, I'd like look into removing like, I'd give sidelight a bit of force, not like enough to. In red, you should still be getting sidelight downlight, but it shouldn't be true. Right now, you just always get it, and that's, I don't know if the word is annoying, but I don't know. I think sidelight is really strong. Even in Katars' feeble state, sidelight is kind of a stupid move. I would not be opposed to buffing stuff in trade for sidelight, but I think right now Katars could use some buffs without any trades. So, I think nair is fine. That move is always going to be a strong move. I think endlight is fine. Individually, a lot of moves are fine. That's why I think, like, if you had to like honestly ask what to buff, it's hard. It's a hard question. Like the most important thing is just fixing the inconsistencies, and then if you fix the inconsistencies, you don't even have to do anything. It'd just be like matchup things that are bad. Like, you can pick Katars into so many things, and then there'd just be stuff that you can't pick Katars into, and that's perfectly fine. Is that a problem? Like, even when Katars are good, you really don't pick them into hammer. It's just a hard matchup. That's fine. But now Katars are bad, and you can't even pick them into sword, which is usually not a thing that you are that worried about. Right? It should be normally like a normal matchup that you aren't that worried about, but right now it feels unplayable even to play into a weapon like sword or something. Don't even get me started on like axe and stuff. Katars into lance, like everything feels bad, mainly because they do 30 damage to you and then you try to do your damage back with a read and it drops. It sucks. But if it didn't drop, it'd be fine. That's the thing though, because like I'm trying to say, like, where do you buff, what damage, what do you need? You don't need anything. Just make it so it doesn't drop. If it didn't drop, I'd be fine. I don't care. Like, what? That's the only problem. This guy's dead. Goodbye, friend. But yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up there. Hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you think of Katars and Scythe. Scythe wasn't really not that big of a topic, because I don't think it's that big of a problem. Like I said, Scythe is good, but you have to be so insane with it for it to matter, so... yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.